G'day, my name's Pete and I'm from Tasmanian Bus Journeys, and today a very special edition indeed. It is Tasmania's top 12 bus routes. Yeah, these are ones you really have to go on. One of the biggest questions I've been asked when I've done this YouTube channel, Tasmanian Bus Journeys, is, Pete, what are your favourite bus routes? Yes, what are the ones really worthwhile going on in terms of scenery and places to go and comfort and the total vibe, the total experience? Yes, well, we've ranked it. Top 12 bus routes in Tasmania. We've had a stab at doing that, and please sit back and relax and enjoy the video on all these marvellous bus routes. Now, Tasmania has more than 12 bus routes, and there are some pretty marvellous ones we had to leave out. So please do give us comments about ones we've left out if you want to see them in future editions of Tasmanian Bus Journeys. So what did we consider important in a bus route in our ranking process? Scenery. What you can see out of the window of your bus. The buses are elevated when you sit in them, and the scenery, the mountains, the hills, the trees, the lake features are good. En route attractions, mostly towns, but other man-made things like statues and penguins and memorial. And the access, how easy is it to get the bus? How frequent? What about the onboard comfort? What about the customer service? That's important. And when we really didn't know how to rank a route, we had to look at whether the route was popular. People voted with their feet, and that was important on some occasions. Now, the routes excluded. And before I talk about that, please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel and giving us a like. We really appreciate that. Now, back to what's excluded. Basically, metropolitan services operated by Metro Tasmania. Those routes are too short and urban in nature to be truly very interesting. Devonport services by Kinetic, we also exclude that. And privately funded services like going to Mount Wellington and Cradle Mountain and to the airport. Okay, the first route, number 12, is Route 705, Launceston to Devonport. Yes, this is the intercity route from between our two major cities. And you can see it goes through Westbury, Deloraine on its way to Devonport. Let's have a look at those vital stats. 101 kilometres is not such a long journey. It takes about 95 minutes, and the bus travels at a relatively healthy 64 kilometres per hour.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome aboard our service through to Devonport today. There is a toilet at the rear of the coach, should you require it. Very easy to use.
Route 705 is not as scenic as some of the other routes we will show you, but it's an easy bus to use, and the towns en route are absolutely fantastic. We look at Westbury as we go through, a quaint English style village, which is a delightful place to walk around with all its amenities. I was leaving from Westbury, going for Launceston. This route has 3 weekday services travelling between Launceston and Devonport, and we've also got a YouTube video on how to catch this particular service, which is published. The link is below. But here we are going through the lovely Deloraine. Here comes the 705 to Devonport. Gorgeous town. We end our bus route in Devonport as we cross the Mersey River. Devonport, the terminal for Spirit of Tasmania. Number 11, Route 190. Yes, it's the Burnie Penguin Ulverston service. Let's just have a look at where this service goes. Starting in Burnie, it hugs the Bass Strait, going through Sulphur Creek and up to the very heights of Penguin before going onwards to Ulverston. It's a short route. It's 34 kilometres, 47 minutes. Pretty slow as it goes through lots of urban areas. It's run by Metro Tasmania. And here we have a video of its sister route 191 arriving at the Burnie interchange, which is the major starting point for this service. This route, 190, offers lovely coastal scenery, great destinations along this route. However, being operated by Metro Tasmania, the bus is not as comfortable as other regional services. Going past the town of Penguin, now this service actually goes inside Penguin, whereas nearby route 708 does not, but this one does, so you can pick it up in the Penguin village itself. And it takes you back through Upper Penguin, which no other bus route does. It's very interesting. Here we cross the Bass Highway itself, which the express services operate. Then we dip down into what are called enchanting country areas there, farming, lakes. There's not many passengers, to be honest, but it is a beautiful and delightful experience of Tasmanian rural vistas. It ends up in the gorgeous Ulverston, the town of Ulverston, our biggest town in Tasmania. Here we're crossing the Leven River. Route 190 operates 4 or 5 times every weekday, twice on Saturdays, not at all on Sundays. Please see our YouTube on Penguin for further info. Now, number 10, Route 768. Yes, it's Burnie, Stanley, Smithton. Wow, this is incredible. This service departs from Burnie on a daily basis. Every day it runs. On the map there you can see it's another coast tugger, goes through Wynyard, Boat Harbour, to Stanley where the Great Nut is, and terminating in Smithton. It's another fairly short route, just about 100 kilometres for a run, and it averages 63 kilometres per hour. The operator's kinetic. Route 768 has pleasant scenery, coastal views, and a fantastic destination of the Nut and the Stanley village. However, on weekdays there's a lot of students on the bus, and the bus can be quite full. The townships on the way, there's not that many townships, but once again an opportunity to see amazing agricultural grounds and properties that Tasmania is so famous for. It's another sit back and relax type sort of route, which just unwinds you. I just love it. Now, one of the great features of this route is the township of Stanley and the Stanley Nut. We've done YouTubes on this. Big ones, because it's just the most amazing place. Again, it's linked below for you to have a look at. Yes, this service goes into Stanley before terminating at Smithton. Off to Smithton. Oh dear, we didn't realise we did not have any video of buses in Smithton, but here's a couple of snaps to prove I've ridden on them. It's a nice town, Smithton. Okay, number 9, 740. We're going east coast now. Launceston to St Helens via the Fingal Valley to St Helens. And it's very pleasant. We go down the Midland Highway and then we track through the Fingal. Now, the length of this route is a slightly longer route, 164 kilometres, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Average time is 70 kilometres per hour. That goes pretty fast. The service runs every day of the year, twice a day on school days. Route 740 features the scenery of the Fingal Valley and great coastal scenery on Tasmania's east coast. The towns are old but very interesting to go through. Modern towns on the east coast. The little bus that operates at 1:30 on weekdays can be a little bit uncomfortable, not enough leg room. There is a bigger coach which operates later in the day. Here we are in the township of Fingal. Now the railway line actually goes as far as Fingal even today, carrying coal. Very interesting. And once again, the mesmerising scenery of as we go past. St Mary's is one of my favourite towns. I've stayed in the lovely St Mary's pub just shown there. And then down, we go from St Mary's to the coastal plain. We go along the Esk Highway and some very interesting sharp turns and curves. It's great to sit in the bus and let somebody do the driving. Down the coastal plains, we go through the township, the tourist township of Scamander. It's a lovely place, lots of facilities there, but the end destination will be ultimately St Helens. This has got views on both sides of the route. St Helens itself is nowadays a great venue to relax and enjoy. Let's now talk about something very exciting indeed. Yes, it's number 8. It's Route 708. It's the Northwest Express, limited stop service, Devonport, Ulverston to Burnie. Here we can see it leaving there. It only stops a few times and provides a very fast, rapid transit to Burnie between Devonport and the other way back, of course. 50 kilometres, it's done in 53 minutes whilst going through urban areas. It's quick, it gets you to where you want to go. Route 708 offers marvellous coastal scenery, wonderful travel through towns which are great to visit, but it is basically an urban style bus, so there's not that much room for luggage, it's not that comfortable when compared to higher rated route. Now incredibly, the frequency on this service is every hour on weekdays between 7 AM and 7 PM, and on Saturdays as well, Sundays every 2 hours. And there you can see the spirit of Tasmania and an intercity bus crossing.
And here we see Bass Strait.
Operated by low floor buses which only accentuate the feeling of speed. Done some YouTubes on how to catch this service as we wind through Ulverston, and it's useful to work out where those bus stops are. Now another major bus stop here in Penguin West, not quite in the township there but close enough, and just more Bass Strait as we wind our way to Burnie. This provides a crucial link.
And the train.
The major port of Burnie, and we turn back into the bus station. The Northwest Express, it's a lovely way, especially after you've caught your intercity buses from Hobart to Devonport, it's a lovely way then to finish your journey in Burnie, or even go much further. That's up to you. Now coming up is probably Tasmania's most important bus route. Yes, it's the intercity Hobart to Launceston route 700 and 702. The 700 is the express service. They go up through the Midlands. Most of these towns you have to book for the service to stop. Campbelltown you don't, but it's a good idea anyway. This is a busy bus, often full without any spare seats. 200 kilometres and 2 hours 45, varies a bit depending upon what town it calls into. 73 kilometres per hour. Now it runs 4 times a day. The first service is 6 AM, in both directions. So you can actually commute on this service between Hobart and Launceston, which is quite good. Weekends, it operates 2 or 3 times a day. See Hobart in the morning, the town hall, and the beauty of catching the early bus, which we've never shown on this YouTube channel before, is the fact you've got beautiful sunrises. Route 702 and 700, I guess the Midland scenery is a bit flatter and drier. It's fascinating, but doesn't compare to the other routes. It's a very comfortable bus. The towns are very, very good indeed. The only other negative is the bus can be really full, but offering a rare on-bus toilet, this route is beaut. And we see the beautiful old township of Ross, one of Tasmania's top towns on this bus route, on request bus route. There's the pub at Ross. Doesn't take long. We go through Campbelltown. Every service goes through Campbelltown. It's part of the 3 beautiful towns of Oatlands, Ross and Campbelltown in the Midlands, which I adore, and we have a really good time whenever we visit there. Plenty of historic buildings, plenty of places to eat and drink, and lots of shops, hop shops and all sorts of things like that. Can't miss the Midlands, but it doesn't take us long. We're into Launceston and we show the Launceston Mall, and it's a good shopping precinct. Launceston is full of heritage 19th century buildings. It's got the Cataract Gorge nearby, lots of places to explore, and you can do a day trip from Hobart to Launceston or vice versa. There's plenty of time to catch the buses backwards and forward. Now this is one of our forgotten routes, I believe, Route 777, Launceston, Bridport, Derby, but it covers so many more towns. Let's have a look at this fantastic route. It's a beauty, starting in Launceston. It covers so many towns. It goes through Lilydale and Lebruna up to Pipers Brook, and then it soars up to Bridport. Bass Strait, turns around, Scottsdale, the major town, dives down to Ringarooma before terminating at the wonderful ex-mining town of Derby, which is now a cycling centre. Marvellous stuff. It's not that a longer route, I guess, 145 kilometres, but it takes a fair while as it 777 is a circuitous route for sure, pretty slow, but the scenery is so diverse. The bus is very comfortable and the towns once again are fascinating. Now this service operates once a day. It leaves 4 o'clock, 365 days a year. But there's also an additional service which just goes as far as Scottsdale, and that also runs 365 days a year. Going up Pipers Brook, a wine growing area, before we hit the wonderful Bridport, which is some place I really enjoy, and you can see it's a tidal port, and it also has a ferry that goes to Flinders Island. Amazing place. One of the things, a real eye-opening for me, is the agricultural nature of Tasmania, particularly northern Tasmania, with so many features. Scottsdale is a major town. It's got buses twice a day that go to Scottsdale. Another place worthwhile getting off, and lots of other features. Look at this war memorial as we go past Ledger Wood. Now then we go southward as we go and visit the almost ghost town of Ringarooma. It all feels quite isolated. Here is the Lover's Lane, a big hedge of shrubbery. We do make Derby. It's a great place to wander around, full of history, an old mining town. It is now a cycling mecca as well. Lots of eateries and things. Wonderful service provided by Kinetic on this one. Great drivers, great buses. Highly recommend this service. You've got to stay overnight, and it is certainly worthwhile there. And concluding with a photo of the terminus from a few years back. Number 5, Route 744, St Helens, Bicheno, Coles Bay. Now this service, ultimate destination is on the Freycinet Peninsula, and it commences at St Helens and hugs the coach, but goes up to St Mary's to connect with other services, down to Bicheno, and finally terminating at the Coles Bay Visitor Centre. It's a route which is longer than you think, 119 kilometres. It's very interesting, takes a couple of hours. Now this service runs on school days only, as mentioned, but 6 days a week, all through the year, you can do the route from St Helens to Coles Bay by changing buses at St Mary's or at Bicheno. So it is possible, and I've put how to do that in a YouTube about how to travel to Coles Bay. Route 740 is difficult to access with awkward bus stops, and the service is often quite full of students, but the scenery on the route is stupendous. You should do it. We go through the wonderful St Mary's. Now then we go down again. This time we go through a place called Elephant Pass, and the road's even harder to drive on. I'm really impressed with the bus drivers. They're on the radio talking to other heavy vehicle operators. They're very careful, but it is sometimes tricky when vehicles are met on these very small roads. That's why the bus is a little bit smaller on this. But coastal views again, superb, going towards Bicheno.
Off he goes, back to St Mary's. Kalo's.
Leaving Bicheno after a short pause, you could see what a good town that's to visit. Plenty of places to look at there, lovely coastline, and lots more in our other videos about it. My God, down Freycinet, look at that beautiful scenery, and you see the 3 peaks there. They look absolutely gorgeous. You can go down there and get a ferry and go for a cruise around all the water. Now we terminate at the visitor centre. It's a gorgeous route, really worthwhile doing. Number 4, this is special, a route operated by the Area Connect group. It's Hobart to Queenstown via Ouse in the Derwent Valley. So exactly what happens here. A little Community Connect bus goes via Ouse up to Derwent Bridge. Meantime, a Tassie Link service goes from Queenstown to Derwent Bridge. You change vehicles there and you continue your journey on to Queenstown. It's our longest route if you combine the two links together, 259 kilometres, and it's amazing. Very slow because it's such hard terrain. Now, a lot of people say that this really isn't a Tasmanian bus route. I say it is. It runs twice a week. They charge normal Tasmanian state government fares. It does not have a route number. I've given it route 729 just for fun, but it's not its real route number. But I reckon it's in. It's a wonderful, wonderful service. Stunning, stunning scenery. And there's not that much else to see, but the scenery is amazing. It's a little bit awkward changing buses, and the little bus up from Hobart to Derwent Bridge is a little bit uncomfortable as well. Not as many country towns on this route. It's up the Derwent Valley. There's of course New Norfolk, but it feels a little isolated. We stop at Ooze, which is a pleasant place, and we have a break there. It's a long route. We have a little break there, toilet break, and you grab some food. But the scenery is amazing. And there you have a glimpse of Tasmania's power, hydroelectric power infrastructure.
And we've just come here on the Area Connect bus. So there's a transfer of passengers and luggage from the River Derwent. Here we go. That's where it all starts, the River Derwent.
Now this final leg to Queenstown's magnificent. First, Lake Burberry. Heavenly on a beautiful day. We see the Owen Ranges there approaching the Queenstown. Now in a bus you get these amazing views. You cannot get this view out of a car without stopping and looking and crying. But here it is, out of a bus, marvellous time. And then we descend into Queenstown. Now, beautiful driving. Every drive I've had on this run, I am so impressed with TassieLink West Coast bus drivers. And Queenstown itself, a mining town, used to be a really big thriving place. The buildings are still there, there's less people, but it's really worthwhile visiting. It's a fascinating place. Bronze medal, route 747, Burnie, Queenstown to Strahan. We start on the Bass Strait again and charge down to the west coast, go through Waratah, Tulla, Rosebery, all these mining towns. It's fascinating place to go, and from Queenstown we go to the coast again, getting the bus to Strahan. Another long route in Tasmanian context, 217 kilometres, a fairly slow route as well. TassieLink, the operator. Now, so this service operates every day around about 3 o'clock, a little bit later in the weekends and public holidays. It starts from the major urban centre of Burnie and then provides that link all the way along the west coast. As such, it's a fascinating community service. Route 747 has got it all. Marvellous scenery and vistas. The towns are interesting. The bus is comfortable and it's very well driven by the bus drivers. The bus drivers make a sense of community on the services. You really feel like you are part of the community when you are on the bus.
So here we are, toilet stop at Rosebery, outside the rather well developed park, and just
the things you can see just go on, and I just have to say, as you can see by my lovely expression, it's a happy bus. The community is lovely, the drivers are lovely. We went into Zion, but the bus spins around and has a short pause at Queenstown, which was mentioned in all previous video. This journey is well covered by my other YouTubes. Now it comes into Queenstown, and there you think, well, that's the end of it all. It stops near the Wilderness Railway Station, train trip from Queenstown. But no, it continues on. It plunges towards the coast. It goes down to Strahan, Wilderness again, curvy roads, you name it. You've got another fantastic part of the journey. And the route terminates at Strahan. From there you can go on Gordon River cruises and have a look around that wonderful part of Tasmania. A lovely service, runs daily, it's great. Silver medal position, route 716, Hobart, Huonville to Geeveston. So this service starts in Hobart, goes through the major urban area of Kingston, then plunging down to Huonville, Franklin and Geeveston. Some of the services do continue on to Dover, but that's a slightly different route. So to Geeveston, it's jam-packed, 62 kilometres, so much to see, 70 minutes travel time as we go through a lot of different areas. This leaves from Hobart, and the service 2 hourly, every 2 hours roughly on weekdays, and there's 4 services a day on weekends. Route 716 is a marvellous route. It's got such beautiful scenery, water views, mountain views. The destinations are absolutely great. The drivers on board the bus are wonderful. They look after the community and they're so friendly and helpful. I'm just blown away by this. Through Kingston, and then we go down the Huon Highway, another fast route. But when you're in the Huon Valley, it is like being in a different world. You're very close to Hobart, but it's so utterly, totally different. The town of Huonville itself has got lots of things to look at, but look at the Huon River here. Oh, it's absolutely sensational. It's featured in a number of our YouTube videos. Sitting in the bus again, you get that elevation, you can look at the river, and we hit then our first town along the Huon there, Franklin, the township of Franklin. It's a very old heritage village full of really, really interesting historic buildings. There's some nice eateries there as well. The bus goes so frequently you can actually stop off at Franklin and go to Geeveston all in the same day. But I am always gobsmacked about these wonderful views up the river and across. And it changes depending on the season. It's gorgeous. Now, Port Huon. But we love the destination of Geeveston, a nice little village, and it's got our favourite cafe in all of Tasmania. It's the one-stop cafe, about a 6 or 7 minute walk from where the bus terminates. Yes, an incredible, quick, action-packed route. Drum roll, gold medal coming up. It's route 737. Hobart, Tribunna, Bicheno. Oh, this is amazing. I love it. I love it. Goes every day. Bicheno, Swansea, you go along the coast. Yeah, it's an East Coast hugger. Tribunna and Orford, and then you plunge inward to Buckland, Sorell, and finally to Hobart on the Derwent River. Statistics, 180 kilometres. It goes over 3 hours by TassieLink. So here we're showing footage of the journey from Bicheno to Hobart. It of course goes from Hobart to Bicheno as well, and it goes both ways every day, 365 days a year. Route 737 is utterly epic. I'm blown away with it every time I go on it. The scenery's good, the towns are marvellous, and the bus driving, the quality of driving on this sort of route, it's a long route and it's marvellous. And also it's used by so many people in Sorell as well as the East Coast. Oh, wow. The diversity of this route is terrific. It just this long distance views, closer views, inland water features. The only thing it probably lacks is some decent mountain ranges. But on a sunny day, it's gorgeous. But even on a dull day, it's got a lot to offer. It really is an incredible route. It's operated by a low floor bus, and there's plenty of room on it for luggage, and it's comfortable for sure. Tribunna, the port there, and that's where you can go to Maria Island from there. Tribunna is, people dismiss it as a former sort of forestry town. It's better than that. It's great. We have some views then as we go to Orford. Orford's very close to Tribunna. We're crossing the Prosser River here for the first time. You can stop there and have a look around. Now, after Orford, we, as we see the Prosser River again, after Orford, we travel into the interior to Buckland. We go through Sorell, which is a town on the urban fringe of Hobart, quite a large town, and then we go over some causeways and some more water to see if you haven't had enough already. We go through Rosny Park, a major shopping centre in Hobart. One last water highlight, yeah, we crossed the mighty Tasman Bridge spanning the western and eastern shores of Hobart. You look right down the river. There it is. It's been with us for well over 50, 60 years now. The service terminates in the centre of Hobart. It goes through the Hobart bus station, which is next to the Hobart GPO and famous clock tower and landmark of Hobart. Just crawls across Macquarie Street, and the final termination point of this magnificent bus route, beyond belief bus route, is at the historic town hall. Right in the middle of everywhere, you can go down to the waterfront and catch other buses. That's route 737, gold medal and the best route in Tasmania. If you did enjoy this video, do consider subscribing to the Tasmanian Bus Journey channel. Give us a like, that helps, and it helps you keep in touch with what we're up to. Let's review what we've seen. Number 12 was the Launceston to Devonport, yes, the intercity route. 190 was the Metro Tasmanian operated Burnie to Penguin and then Ulverston service. Number 10, Burnie to Stanley and on to Smithton. 740 is the Launceston to East Coast service to St Helens. 708 is the Devonport Burnie Northwest Express. And number 7 was the last intercity service, the Hobart Midlands to Launceston service. Number 6 is the fantastic 777 to Bridport, but it also goes onwards to Derby and many other towns in Tasmania's northeast. Back to the east coast and hugs the east coast from St Helens to Bichno and Coles Bay. A very interesting route from Hobart to Queenstown via Ouse, and then from Burnie to Queenstown to Strahan is the third. Bronze medal, silver medal, Hobart, Huronville Juice, and action-packed in a short distance. And finally, the supreme 737 Hobart, Tribunna and Bichno. Well, thank you so much for enduring. If you got this far, do provide us any comments. I thank you profoundly. We've loved it. See you soon.